Okay, so dear students, our today's topic is the description of the middle ear. So it is very difficult topic, and here what we will see, that is within the petrous part of the temporal bone, there is a very small part of the middle ear which is having the uppermost diameter, that is only the 6 millimeter, and in the middle where there is the tympanic membrane, that is only the 2 millimeter, and below the 2 millimeter here the tympanic membrane, the part that is having the maximum diameter only, that is 4 millimeter. So where there is the diameter is only 6 millimeter, so it is very difficult to see the structures within the middle ear without the help of the microscope, and it is also very difficult to have the concept within the structures or the structures within the middle ear cavity. So to have the better idea or the concept of the middle ear cavity, here I have made one model through which I am going to describe the structures. You should try to have the idea or the concept through this model, and you should then go through the textbook also. So here if you see the middle ear cavity, it is having so many muscles and the bones and all ligaments, the fissures, etc., and they are situated all within this very small part. So if you make a model, or if you magnify the structures within the middle ear cavity, it should be look like, that is, it is a cube or it is a hexagonal box. So it will be look like the hexagonal box which is having the roof. Can you see? So which you can see from the above. So it is the box, so it is having the roof. Okay, now it is having where there is the tympanic membrane. So this is the tympanic membrane, pink color one, can you see? So this is the where there is the tympanic membrane. So this is the lateral wall. Okay, so lateral wall of the middle ear cavity. Now in front of this here, so this is the roof. I am closing the roof. Okay, so in front of the roof, this one, this is the anterior wall. So this one, it is the anterior wall. Okay, so if you see from the anterior part, so this is the anterior wall. So I have already labeled for your here, that is so that you can have the idea. So here this is the anterior wall I have labeled. Okay, now here in front of the anterior wall, this part, this is anterior wall. In front of this, this is the here, that is, what is this? That is the oropharynx. So it is very very important. So it is the oropharynx. This is the here the tympanic membrane. So it is the lateral wall, I have already said. So you should remember where there is the tympanic membrane is attached. So it is the lateral wall. Okay, so it is directed towards the external ear. Okay, now below this, this is the floor. Okay, so this is the floor. Okay, this is the floor. Now behind, this is the posterior wall. Here this is the posterior wall. Okay, now you close the loop. Now here this is the medial wall. Okay, so medial wall, that is directed towards the internal ear, where there is the, here I will describe, there is the structures of the internal ear, that is the bony cochlea and the membranous part of the internal ear. Okay, or the membranous labyrinth. So I will describe later on. So this is the medial wall. Okay, so this is roof, this is the anterior wall, this is where there is the tympanic membrane. So this is lateral wall. Here this is the, here you can see there is a large opening. So this is the posterior wall. Okay, here this is the floor, and here this is the medial wall. Okay, now I am going to describe the individual walls and the structures related to the here the wall. So here what you will see, so this is the roof. Okay, roof is formed by a very thin plate of bone or the petrous part of the temporal bone. So this very thin plate of bone, in some babies after birth, it is not completely formed, and here it is very very important, that is this thin plate of bone which is named the tegmen tympani. You should remember this plate, very thin plate of bone, that is called tegmen tympani. In some babies after birth, it will take time to ossify. In adults also it is not completely ossified, so there is a chance of infection through this roof to the here the cranial cavity. Okay, I will say later on. So here the roof, it is having the characteristic features, that is it is pierced by, here there are the two nerves, can you see? So there are the two nerves. So these nerves are, which is situated laterally, L for L, this is called lesser petrosal nerve. So I have already said, so there is the position of the here, that is the tympanic membrane, so it is the lateral side. So L for L, so this is the lesser petrosal nerve, which is a branch of, that is the ninth cranial nerve or glossopharyngeal nerve, and medial one, that is the facial nerve. Okay, branch of the facial nerve, which is called, that is greater petrosal. So medial one, it is a branch of facial nerve, that is greater petrosal. Lateral one, L for L, lesser petrosal, which is a branch of glossopharyngeal or the ninth cranial nerve. Okay, so here this is the roof. Now if you see the roof, after opening the roof, here what you will see? So now you are entering the tympanic cavity or the middle ear cavity. So this is the cavity, the structures of the cavity. This is very difficult, so you should try to understand. Okay, so where there is the junction of the, here the roof, this is the medial wall, this is the anterior wall, can you see? So this is the roof, this is medial wall, this is the anterior wall, this is the oropharynx. Okay, now here what we will see, here at the junction of the anterior wall, at the junction of the anterior wall, okay, and the medial wall, here what we will see, there is the position of, this is the position of the lowermost part of the internal acoustic meatus, through which here the nerve is entering, can you see? So this is the nerve. So this nerve is the facial nerve, so you should remember. So this facial nerve, it is passing or entering the middle ear cavity. It is very difficult, you should remember the course of the facial nerve, it is given as a long question. So facial nerve, here it is having a major course within the, here the middle ear cavity. So the facial nerve, how it is entering? So facial nerve, it is after formation, it is entering the middle ear cavity, here at the that is below the lower part of the stylomastoid, here the stylomastoid foramen here. So this foramen is situated, where it is situated, that is internal acoustic meatus, so that is internal acoustic meatus. So the position of the internal acoustic meatus, it is at the junction of, here that is the anterior wall and this is the medial wall, through which here the here the facial nerve that is entering. Okay, so through the internal acoustic meatus, now the nerve, it is coming out, it is entering the middle ear cavity. Here after entering the middle ear cavity, just after entering, it is forming one ganglion, can you see? So this is the ganglion, so this is the ganglion. Okay, so it is a knee shaped or knee like bending. Okay, because of this it is called the geniculate ganglion, geniculate ganglion or the geniculate ganglia of the facial nerve. So after forming the geniculate ganglion, the facial nerve is directed backward, can you see? The nerve is directed backward through a bony canal. This bony canal is bulged on the medial wall, it is bulged on the medial wall. Through the canal, the facial nerve is going backward, the facial nerve is going backward. Okay, downward and backward. Okay, and the nerve, after reaching here, that is at the junction of the medial wall and the posterior wall, can you see? This is the medial wall and the posterior wall. So at the junction of this, the facial nerve is directed downward, can you see? The facial nerve is directed downward, so this is the facial nerve course. Okay, so facial nerve is just directed downward. So here from the medial wall, here the nerve, facial nerve, as it is reaching the junction of the medial wall and the posterior wall, the nerve is having a sharp bend downward, then the nerve is directed towards the fissure, can you see? Here there is the opening, so this opening, it is called the stylomastoid foramen. So stylomastoid foramen. So here from the junction of the medial wall and posterior wall, now the facial nerve is directed downward to pass through the stylomastoid foramen. Okay, now here what you will see, as the facial nerve, here it is going backward after forming the geniculate ganglion. So after just forming the geniculate ganglion or from the geniculate ganglion, here the nerve is giving the branch, can you see? This is the branch. Okay, this nerve is piercing the roof, this nerve is piercing the roof. So this nerve which is taking origin from the geniculate ganglion, it is the here greater petrosal nerve. Okay, so this is the greater petrosal nerve. So I am not discussing here the greater petrosal nerve, it will be discussed in relation to the here the facial nerve, course of the facial nerve and its branches. So just in single word, so this after here after the formation of the here the greater petrosal nerve, it is the nerve, it is entering through the bony canal, that is the canal of the pterygoid canal. Now it is going to reach the pterygoid ganglion. Okay, so this is the greater petrosal nerve. Okay, now so this is about the root. Now here loop and the facial nerve. Okay, now here what we will see, so this is the medial wall. So medial wall, it characterized by what are the features of the medial wall, what you will see. So the medial wall, it is having the two foramina, you can see, or the two openings, that is the upper opening, it is called the fenestra vestibuli. You should remember fenestra vestibuli, that is oval shaped window, fenestra vestibuli, which is closed by, can you see the pink color structure of the membrane? So this is the secondary membrane or the secondary tympanic membrane, or it is secondary tympanic membrane, that is here giving the or attachment to the inside or the tympanic cavity, towards the tympanic cavity it is giving attachment to the annular ligament along with the here the membrane, that is called secondary tympanic membrane. Okay, so along the margin there is attachment of here the stapes. Okay, so stapes or the foot plate, what is that is the particular structure of the stapes which is closing or attached to the annular ligament of this opening towards the tympanic cavity, that is the here, that is the foot plate or the stapes, and the intermediate part of this stapes, this is closed by the pink color membrane. I have given here the pink color one. Okay, so this is the secondary tympanic membrane, and below this one there is another opening, can you see, this is called fenestra cochleae. So fenestra vestibuli and the fenestra cochleae. Okay, these two structures, so the opening, they are situated behind the bulging, there is one bulging, and this bulging, it is formed due to the semicircular canal, okay, of the cochlear or the cochlear canals, okay, of the here the I will discuss the bony part of the internal ear or the bony cochlea. So here the semicircular canals which is giving pressure or it is producing the bulging on the medial wall. So, okay, so this is the bulging, the below the bulging, below and behind there is the opening, that is called fenestra cochleae. Above and behind the here the promontory, here the prominence, this is called the fenestra vestibuli. Okay, so what are the features of the medial wall? So medial wall, at the anterior part there is a bony, here there is a here the bony prominence on the medial wall which is directed towards the cavity. Okay, which is directed towards the cavity, that means that is the tympanic cavity. Okay, so this is the bulging. Okay, so this bulging, it is formed due to the here the semicircular canals. Okay, so anteriorly there is the semicircular canal, so this is the prominence of the semicircular canal. Behind and above fenestra vestibuli or the oval window, and below that there is the fenestra cochleae. Okay, now what are the characteristic features of the roof? Roof is formed by the tegment tympani or the thin plate of bone which is having the two nerves. These two nerves are coming out. So one nerve, that is which is medially situated, that is the greater petrosal, and laterally situated, that is the lesser petrosal nerve. Okay, now here that is the posterior wall. So this is the posterior wall. Posterior wall, what we will see in the upper part, there is a large opening, can you see? So posterior wall at the upper part, it is having a large opening, and this large opening, it is due to here what is the structure, that this large opening, it is due to the here, that is the mastoid air cells, opening of the mastoid air cells to the tympanic cavity or making communications of the mastoid air cells with the tympanic cavity, that is called mastoid antrum. Okay, so this is called mastoid antrum. So the large opening, it is called mastoid antrum. Okay, so this large opening is called mastoid antrum. Okay, now below the mastoid antrum, here you can see there is a bony opening, there is a bony opening. Okay, this is very important. So this is the bony opening. What is this? So this is So this is the bone opening, can you see here? So through which one bony promontory or bony projection is passing inside. So here it is passing inside, can you see? So through the inner surface of this bony projections, here one muscle is taking origin, black color one. Here I have given here, I am using the black color here to have the idea, that is to differentiate the muscles from the nerves. So it is the muscle. So these muscles is the multipinate muscle which is taking origin from the bony, here the bony canal, or the here the bony projections which is coming out from the posterior wall. Okay, this muscle is stapedius, you should remember, stapedius. Okay, so this muscle is the stapedius which is attached to the posterior part of the neck of the stapes, which is attached to the posterior part of the neck of the stapes. It is very important. So when the muscle is contracting, obviously here the stapes is moved laterally, stapes is moved laterally, so that here the vibration ultimately is going to reach the internal ear. So here that is separating, here the, if the muscle is contracting, obviously vibration is not reaching or unable to reach the internal ear. It is for the protection from the, here the protection of the internal ear from the high pitch sound, or here where there is the maximum volume that is going to reach the internal ear. In that condition, here automatically or reflexly the contraction of the stapedius muscle, the attachment of the stapedius muscle, it is very important, it is given as a short note. And the nerve supply of the stapedius, it is given supply from a branch of the facial nerve. So this is the facial nerve. So facial nerve is giving one branch to the stapedius. Okay, now so here, so this is the bony projection, can you see, or the bony canal. Below the bony canal, I have already said, so this is the facial nerve, can you see? So this is the facial nerve. So facial nerve, it is situated, or the vertical course of the facial nerve here. So this is the horizontal course, this is vertical course. Horizontal course, it is in relation to the inner wall, inner surface of the medial wall, okay, through the bony canal. Now it is the vertical course of the facial nerve. So the vertical course of the facial nerve, it is started below the origin of the stapedius muscle. Okay, so below the bony canal or the origin of the stapedius muscle, here the facial nerve is giving one branch. Can you see? So this is the branch. So this is the branch. So this is very important. This branch is called chorda tympani nerve for the special sensory supply of the tongue. Okay, to carry the special sensory supply. Okay, so this is the chorda tympani. So chorda tympani, where it is taking origin? So chorda tympani is taking origin here from the vertical part of the facial nerve below the origin of the stapedius muscle. Okay, so this is chorda tympani. After taking here the origin, chorda tympani nerve is attached in relation to the medial wall of the handle of the malleus. Can you see? So this is the handle of the malleus. So malleus I have used here. So there are three different colors. Okay, so this is here you will see. So this is the sky color one. So this is the malleus, yellow color one. This is malleus incus, and here this is the stapes. Okay, so malleus, this is malleus, this is incus, yellow color, pink color one, this is the stapes. So malleus, it is having, here you will see. So this is the handle of the malleus. Here can you see? This is directed downward. This is the handle. This is the handle. So handle is directed downward. Can you see? This is the handle of the malleus. So handle is medially, handle is related or attached with the chorda tympani nerve. So this is the chorda tympani nerve, which is in contact with the, here the medial surface of the handle of the malleus. Okay. Now the chorda tympani nerve is directed forward. Can you see? Chorda tympani nerve is directed forward. It is coming out. So it is coming out. Okay. So this is the fissure through which the chorda tympani nerve is coming out. So this is called the petrotympanic fissure. So this fissure is called petrotympanic fissure, through which the chorda tympani nerve is passing. Okay, or it is coming out from the tympanic cavity. Okay, now here, so this is here about the posterior wall. So posterior wall, what are the features of the posterior wall? You should remember, number one, so opening of the, here the mastoid air cells or the mastoid antrum. Below that there is the bony canal for the origin of the stapedius. Okay, now there is the relation of the facial nerve. Below the bony canal there is the relation of the facial nerve. Okay, so at the lower part of the posterior wall there is a gap through which, that is the gap, or which is named, that is for the passage of the facial nerve. So what is the name of this? That is the stylomastoid foramen. So this is the stylomastoid foramen. So these are the features of the posterior wall. So you should remember like this: 1 2 3. Okay, what are the structures in relation to the roof? 1 2. What are the structures of the medial wall? Okay, 1 2 3. What are the structures of the posterior wall? 1 2 3. Okay, like this. So now, so I am just telling about the few points about the ossicles. So here the three ossicles you will see the what are the very important structures in relation to the tympanic cavity. So that is the malleus, incus and the stapes. Okay, so malleus, it is having, here you will see, so this is the head of the malleus. Okay, head of the malleus. Now it is having the anterior process which is here you will see. So anterior process which is giving attachment to the black color one, can you see? So it is the anterior ligament of the malleus. Okay, anterior ligament of the malleus. Upper end of the head of the malleus, so it is the head. So from the head here you can see, so there is the lateral process. This is the lateral process. This is the lateral process. Here this is the lateral process. Lateral process is attached to the tympanic membrane by the tympanic sulcus. Where it is attached, it is forming one sulcus. So this is called tympanic sulcus. So this is the malleus is attached to the tympanic membrane. So this is called lateral process. Okay. Now anterior process which is attached by the anterior ligament of the malleus. Okay. Now here there is another black color muscle, can you see, which is coming and to be attached to the upper end of the head of the malleus, upper end of the, that is the handle of the malleus, or the junction of the head and the handle of the malleus. So this is called the tensor tympani muscle. So you should remember tensor tympani muscle. Okay. So the malleus, what are the parts of the malleus? So malleus, it is having head, number one. Head is forming the, here laterally head is forming the joint with the incus synovial joint. So malleus, in between the malleus in the incus there is the joint, can you see? So this is the joint, synovial joint. So this is the head. Below the head there is the head of the, that is the handle of the malleus, I have already said. So this is the handle of the malleus, can you see? Handle of the malleus is directed downward. So this is the handle of the malleus which is in contact with the chorda tympani nerve. Okay. Now here there is a lateral process which is attached to the tympanic membrane. This is the lateral process which is attached to the tympanic membrane. Okay. Another process here you can see, this is called the anterior process which is giving attachment to the anterior ligament of the malleus. Anterior ligament of the malleus which is passing through the petrotympanic fissure, can you see, through which the another nerve is passing here. So this is the chorda tympani nerve. Okay. Another ligament that is passing, that is the anterior ligament of here the malleus which is attached to the anterior process of the malleus. Okay. Now here from the anterior wall I will discuss. From the anterior wall, one here the one muscle is coming, can you see? So this is the tensor tympani. Okay, tensor tympani muscle. So this tensor tympani muscle is attached to the upper end of the handle of the malleus, or the junction of the handle and the that is the head of the malleus. Okay, so this is the malleus. Okay, now this is the incus, yellow color one intermediate ossicle. So this is incus. So incus, it is having the large body, can you see? This is the body which is forming the joint, synovial joint I have already said, with the head, that is the, with the, that is the malleus, head of the malleus. Now it is having two processes, short process and the long process. Okay, short process is giving attachment to one ligament, can you see, by which the here the here the incus is fixed. Okay, so this is the ligament. So the black color one, this is the ligament. So this ligament is passing from the posterior part of the medial wall behind the tympanic membrane, is going to be attached to the here the short process. So this is the short process. Okay, short process of the incus. Okay, this is the long process. So long process of the incus. So this is the long process, can you see? This is the long process. So long process, it is having the one end, it is globular or rounded, which is making articulations with the head of the here the stapes, or the here the head of the stapes. Okay, below the here, so this is about the stapes, here the incus. Now the stapes. So stapes, it is having the head, this is the head, head, below the head there is a constricted portion where the stapedius muscle is attached. This is called neck. Okay, from the neck here, these are the, here you will see there are the two limbs, anterior and the posterior, there are the two limbs. So these two limbs are attached to the, here the annular ligament, that is here the foot plate of the stapes, here the foot plate is attached to the, here the fenestra vestibuli by the annular ligament. Okay, by the annular ligament. Now there is the membrane by which ultimately the opening is closed. This is called the secondary tympanic membrane. This is called secondary tympanic membrane. So these are about the ossicles. So you should remember. Okay, so these are very much helpful when you go to ENT. Okay, so the classes of the middle ear cavity in details. So you should remember, and again you will recapitulate. Okay, so now, so this is the cavity of the tympanic cavity or the middle ear cavity. Okay, now, so what is left now? Now you can see, so this is the lesser petrosal nerve. I have already discussed. So this one, so this is the lesser petrosal nerve. So lesser petrosal nerve, it is here. It is entering the middle ear cavity. It is entering the middle ear cavity. Now it is the course of the middle ear cavity. Within the course middle ear cavity, this is the course of the lesser petrosal nerve. Here, what we will see interestingly. So this lesser petrosal nerve, after entering the middle ear cavity, here what is forming here? So this is the tympanic membrane. So over the tympanic membrane, here this lesser petrosal nerve is forming one plexus. Okay, this is called tympanic plexus. After forming the tympanic plexus, here the nerve is coming out. Here you can see the nerve is coming out. Here the nerve is coming out. Can you see? So this is the lesser petrosal nerve. So this is the lesser petrosal nerve is coming out. Okay, so this is the lesser petrosal nerve. Okay, so this is called the carotico-tympanic fissure. Carotico-tympanic fissure through which the lesser petrosal nerve is coming out. Below the, here this is the internal carotid artery. Below the internal carotid artery, in between the gap of the anterior wall and the floor, there is a fissure. This is called carotico-tympanic fissure through which the lesser petrosal nerve is ultimately coming out. Okay, so now this is the anterior wall. So what you will see in the anterior wall, in the upper part, there is one bony projection. Can you see? Here there is the bony projections. Okay, below the bony projections there is another opening. Can you see? This is the another opening. So if you see from the anterior wall, there are the two openings. Can you see? There is one upper bony canal and there is another lower bony canal. The upper bony canal, through which here to the inside there is bony projections like the origin of the stapedius muscle. Okay, through which here the origin of the tensor tympani muscle. Okay, so upper bony canal, it is for the origin of the tensor tympani muscle. Lower bony canal, here you can see this is the, or that is the auditory tube. By here the auditory tube, through this opening, here the auditory tube is making communications with the middle ear cavity with the oropharynx. Okay, so this is the auditory tube. So lower bony canal is for the auditory tube, upper bony canal, it is for the tensor tympani muscle. Below that there is the attachment of the internal carotid artery. Can you see? I have drawn here. So this is the internal carotid artery. So anterior wall, it is very important. What the important structures? 1, 2, 3. So 1, that is upper bony canal for the, that is the tensor tympani muscle taking origin from inside. Here the auditory tube for the making, here it is making communication with the, here posteriorly what is this? That is the middle ear cavity, and anteriorly what is this? That is the oropharynx, and below that there is the carotid canal. Below the carotid canal, here you will see there is a gap or fissure in between the, here the anterior wall and the floor, anterior wall and the floor. So this is the carotico-tympanic fissure for the passage of, here the nerve lesser petrosal. Okay, so this is the lesser petrosal nerve ultimately going to relay in the otic ganglion. So it will be discussed later on in relation to the nerve. So this is the lesser petrosal nerve. So this lesser petrosal nerve, after coming out here, it is going to relay in the otic ganglion. Okay, now here what is left now? So this is the lateral wall. It is very important, lateral wall. So lateral wall, here this is having a large opening. Can you see? So maximum portion of this large lateral wall, so it is occupied by the attachment of the tympanic membrane from inside. not outside. So this is the tympanic membrane. Tympanic membrane, how it is attached, pink color one. So this is the tympanic membrane. So tympanic membrane is attached from the inside. So this is the tympanic membrane is attached along the inside, like the here the attachment of the secondary tympanic membrane by the here one ligamentous structure, that is the what is called annular ligament. Okay, so this is the tympanic membrane. Okay, now this tympanic membrane here in the center towards the cavity, it is having maximum projection on convexity, that is called umbo. This umbo here where there is the lateral sulcus is attached, lateral here the lateral I have said already, that is the lateral process of the here the malleus is attached. So where the lateral process of the malleus is attached, it is having the maximum projection of the tympanic membrane, which is called umbo. Okay, so above the umbo, the part of the tympanic membrane, it is called, it is above the umbo or where there is the lateral process of the malleus is attached. So above this upper portion, this is called pars flexita, and below the attachment of the umbo, here this part it is called the pars tensa. Pars tensa. So by the contraction of the tensor tympani muscle, here that is the tympanic membrane, either it will be tense or it will become loose. It is depending on the contraction of the tensor tympani muscle. Okay, so tensor tympani muscle, it is very important. The attachment of the tensor tympani muscle. Tensor tympani muscle is supplied by which nerve? It is supplied by the here, that is the mandibular nerve, that is the mandibular branch of the trigeminal nerve. It is very important. Okay, now so it is here malleus and the incus, both the muscles or both the bones, they are taking origin from first branchial arch. But the tensor tympani muscle, it is supplied by the here the fifth cranial nerve, but the stapedius, it is supplied by the facial nerve, the seventh cranial nerve. These are the two protecting muscle, you should remember. Okay, so when the tensor tympani muscle is contracting, here the handle of the malleus is moved medially. Okay, so that here, that is vibration, ultimately it is trying to here, that is handle of the malleus, when that is what I am going to say, that is if the muscle, these two muscles are protective, how it is protecting each other or protecting the internal ear, that is there are the opposite movement. You should remember these two things. There are the opposite movements of what? That is here the stapes is going laterally when there is the contraction of the stapedius muscle, but when the anterior, here the tensor tympani muscle is contracting, here the handle of the malleus, it is going, handle of the malleus including the, that is the lateral process by which the here the tympanic membrane is attached, it is going medially. So by this movement here, ultimately the sound waves is trying to, here the less amount of sound waves is ultimately reaching here the internal ear. Okay, so this is the protect there, this is for the protection. Okay, now here, but in the when it is relaxing, these muscles are relaxing, in that condition here the tympanic membrane is becoming loose. Okay, so the sound waves you are aware, that is hearing the sounds, they will become dull. Okay, the sound waves, they will become, that is dull. Okay, so it is occurring when we are getting cold. Okay, so this is the lateral wall. So this is about the lateral wall. Okay, so one thing about the tympanic membrane. So tympanic membrane is given as a short note. So tympanic membrane, so it is having three layers. So this is the outer layer towards the external ear cavity, external ear. So this is formed by the stratified squamous epithelium. Okay, intermediate layer, this is fibrous, and the inner layer of the tympanic membrane, this is like that of the other mucous layer of the middle ear cavity. So this is formed by the columnar epithelium. ঠিক আছে? So here this here the nerve supply of the tympanic membrane is very vital. What you will see, that is the outer part of the outer wall of the tympanic membrane is supplied by the 5th and the 10th cranial nerve. You should remember 5th and the 10th. Okay, 5th and the 10th, upper part 5th, lower part 10th. But the inner wall of the tympanic membrane is solely supplied by the glossopharyngeal, solely supplied by the glossopharyngeal nerve. Okay, now this is the floor. Nothing about the floor. So floor is situated over here, that is the sigmoid sinus, and here the internal jugular vein. So you should remember, here there is the floor, it is sitting over the vein, and that is the internal jugular vein. Before the formation of the internal jugular vein, here there is the sigmoid sinus and the internal jugular vein. This is very vital. Okay, so in between here you will see, so this is the here the floor, and the floor, anterior part of the floor, there is a gap, I have already said. So this is the caroticotympanic sulcus. Okay, so through which here the caroticotympanic vessels and the nerves, they are ultimately entering the middle ear cavity, or they are coming out. Okay, so the veins are making communications with the jugular veins and the internal jugular veins and the sigmoid sinus, and the arteries of the middle ear cavity, they are coming from here, the small branches of the internal cavity artery, they are coming along with the sympathetic plexus from the small openings from the anterior wall, from the small openings on the anterior wall. Okay, so they are making communications with the here, or making supply to the mucous membrane of the internal ear. Okay, so these are about the medial ear cavity. So I think it will be helpful, this model will be helpful for you. You go through the text and corroborate with this model. Okay, thank you.